There is a kind of pain that does not always show on the face. It is the pain of trying hard, giving your best, showing up every day and still feeling like your career has not become what you hoped it would be. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you were passed over for a promotion. Maybe a business failed. Maybe your plans collapsed quietly. Maybe you are still employed, but deep inside, you feel stuck, unseen, underused, and unsure of what comes next. Career setbacks do not only affect your income, they touch something deeper. They can shake your identity. They can make you question your value. They can make you look at your age, your responsibilities, your past decisions, and wonder whether you have fallen too far behind. And when confidence is broken, even simple steps can feel heavy. You may open your laptops and stare at your resume without knowing what to change. You may see a job opening and close the page because there's a voice inside says, "What if I am not good enough?" You may want to start a new course, a new business, a new chapter, but the memory of failure keeps standing at the door. This is what a setback can do. It does not only stop your movement, it can damage your belief in movement. But listen carefully, a setback is not a final judgment on your life. It is not proof that you are finished. It is not proof that you are incapable. It is not proof that your best years are behind you. Sometimes a setback is simply a hard interruption. It is a painful pause that forces you to look again, learn again, and rebuild with more honesty than before. And if you are in that season now, you do not need noise. You do not need empty encouragement. You need a calm way back to yourself. The first thing you must understand is that confidence is not the same as comfort. Many people think confidence means never feeling afraid, never doubting yourself, never feeling uncertain about the next step. But real confidence is quieter than that. Real confidence is the ability to move forward while still feeling some fear. It is the ability to act while your hands are not fully steady. It is the decision to keep showing up before your emotions have caught up with your intention. After a career setback, you may wait to feel confident before taking action. But confidence often returns after action, not before it. You apply for the job, then confidence grows. You update your skills, then confidence grows. You complete one small task, then confidence grows. You make one honest plan and follow it, then confidence grows. Confidence is rebuilt through evidence, and the evidence comes from keeping small promises to yourself. So do not sit still waiting for the old feeling to return. Begin with a small action. A small action is enough to remind your mind that you are not powerless. The next thing you must do is separate your worth from what happened. This is one of the hardest lessons for adults to learn because work becomes tied to identity. Your job title, your salary, your business, your position, your professional progress, all of these things can begin to feel like proof of who you are. So when something goes wrong, it can feel personal. If you lose a job, you may feel rejected as a person. If your business struggles, you may feel foolish. If you miss a promotion, you may feel invisible. If younger people seem to move faster than you, you may feel outdated. If your career path has not been straight, you may feel ashamed. But your career is not the full measure of your worth. Your income is not the full measure of your intelligence. Your current position is not the full measure of your potential. One rejection is not a complete biography. One failed season is not a permanent identity. You are more than the last thing that happened to you. You must repeat this truth until your mind begins to accept it. You are not your layoff. You are not your failed application. You are not your delayed progress. You are not your mistake. You are not the opinion of one manager, one client, one company, or one season. You are a person in motion. You are a person still learning. You are a person capable of repair. This matters because shame makes people hide, and hiding delays rebuilding. When you believe the setback defines you, you stop applying, you stop learning, you stop asking for help, you stop taking chances. You stay small because you are afraid that another disappointment will confirm what you secretly fear. But when you understand that your worth is deeper than your career situation, you can face the setback with a clearer mind. You can say, "This hurt me, but it does not own me." You can say, "I made mistakes, but I can learn." You can say, "This door closed, but I am not closed." That is where rebuilding begins. The next step is to tell the truth without cruelty. When people face career setbacks, they often move to one of two extremes. Some blame everything outside themselves and refuse to learn. Others blame themselves for everything and fall into shame. Neither path helps. You need a better way. You need honest reflection without self-attack. Sit down quietly and ask yourself what really happened. Not the dramatic version, not the version that protects your pride, not the version that destroys your confidence. The truthful version. What went wrong? What was outside your control? What was within your control? What skills were missing? What habits weakened your performance? What warning signs did you ignore? What did the situation teach you about the kind of work, environment, or path that fits you better? This kind of reflection takes courage. It is not easy to look at your own patterns. It is not easy to admit where you became passive, distracted, unprepared, impatient, careless, or afraid. But honesty is not meant to wound you. Honesty is meant to free you. When you can name the lesson, the pain becomes less confusing. A setback without reflection becomes a wound. A setback with reflection becomes training. Maybe you learned that you need stronger communication skills. Maybe you learned that you need to update your technical knowledge. Maybe you learned that you cannot keep waiting for people to notice your work. Maybe you learned that you need better boundaries. Maybe you learned that you were staying in a place that no longer matched your growth. Do not waste the lesson. If life has forced you to pause, use the pause well. The next part of rebuilding confidence is skill. Confidence without skill is fragile. It may feel good for a moment, but it breaks under pressure. True confidence is supported by competence. If your career setback exposed a gap, do not deny it. Close it. This is not a punishment. This is preparation. Take the course. Read the book. Practice the software. Improve your writing. Learn negotiation. Study leadership. Build a portfolio. Update your resume. Speak with people in your field. Ask what has changed. Ask what employers now expect. Ask what skills are becoming more valuable. You do not need to become everything at once. You only need to become more useful than you were yesterday. Sometimes confidence returns when you stop asking, "Am I good enough?" and begin asking, "What can I learn next?" Question gives your mind direction. When you learn, you are no longer only remembering what went wrong. You are building what comes next. You are no longer sitting under the weight of disappointment. You are creating new evidence. And every new skill becomes a quiet form of power. A person who is learning is not defeated. A person who is practicing is not finished. A person who is improving is already rebuilding. The next step is to create small wins. After a setback, large goals may feel too heavy. Looking at the whole mountain can make you feel tired before you even begin. So do not begin with the whole mountain. Begin with one step. Small wins matter because they restore movement. Update one section of your resume. Send one application. Complete one lesson, make one professional call, write one page of a business plan, save one small amount of money, wake up at the same time for 3 days, finish one task you have been avoiding. These actions may not look impressive from the outside, but they begin to repair something inside you. They tell your mind, I can still act. That message is important. Because after disappointment, the mind can become passive. It can begin to believe that effort does not matter. It can begin to expect rejection before trying. It can begin to confuse fear with wisdom. Small wins interrupt that pattern. Do not underestimate the emotional power of finishing something. Completion builds self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of confidence. If you want to rebuild, stop chasing one dramatic breakthrough and start collecting small proof. One small promise kept. One focused hour completed. One honest effort made. One better choice repeated. This is how confidence begins to breathe again. You must also protect your mind from comparison. Career setbacks become more painful when you measure your private struggle against other people's public progress. You open your phone and see promotions, new houses, business launches, travel, success stories, announcements, celebrations. Everyone seems to be moving. Everyone seems to be winning. Everyone seems to know where they are going. And there you are, trying to hold yourself together. But comparison is often unfair because you are comparing your full reality to someone else's selected moment. You are seeing their announcement, not their anxiety, their promotion, not their pressure, their success, not their sacrifices, their result, not their years of confusion. You do not know the whole story. And even if someone truly is ahead, their path is not your path. Your life does not become worthless because someone else moved faster. Your progress does not become meaningless because another person reached a milestone first. Your timing may be different, but different does not mean useless. When comparison enters your mind, bring your focus back to your assignment. What is your next step? What skill do you need to build? What habit needs correction? What opportunity can you prepare for? What money decision can you improve? What routine will support your comeback? Comparison scatters your energy. Focus gathers it, and in a rebuilding season, you need gathered energy. You must also rebuild your financial discipline while you rebuild your career confidence. A career setback often brings financial pressure. Income may reduce, savings may become thin, debt may rise. You may feel tempted to avoid your bank account because looking at the numbers hurts. But avoiding money does not reduce pressure. It increases it. You need to face your finances calmly and practically. Not with shame, not with panic, with responsibility. Look at what is coming in. Look at what is going out. List your necessary expenses. Reduce what can be reduced. Pause spending that is based on image, emotion, or old habits. Protect the money you have. Create a simple survival plan for the season you are in. This is not failure. This is wisdom. There are times in life when financial discipline must become tighter because the season requires it. That does not mean you will live that way forever. It means you are respecting reality while you rebuild. Do not use money to comfort every emotion. Do not spend to prove that you are still okay. Do not borrow to maintain an image. Do not let pride keep you from adjusting your lifestyle. A setback is already heavy. Do not add unnecessary financial pressure to it. Your future self will thank you for every wise choice you make in this season. Another part of rebuilding confidence is learning how to speak to yourself. The voice inside you matters. After a setback, your inner voice may become harsh. It may say you failed. It may say you are behind. It may say, nobody will choose you. It may say, you should have known better. It may say, it is too late. If you listen to that voice without challenging it, you will begin to live as though it is true. But not every thought deserves belief. Some thoughts are just fear speaking. Some thoughts are old wounds repeating themselves. Some thoughts are shame looking for evidence. Some thoughts are exhaustion pretending to be wisdom. You must learn to answer yourself with truth. When your mind says, I failed, answer, I experienced a setback and I can learn from it. When your mind says, I am behind, answer, I am starting from where I am and I can still move. When your mind says, nobody will choose me, answer, I will keep improving until I become prepared for the right opportunity. When your mind says, it is too late, answer, it is late only if I refuse to begin. This is not fake positivity. This is mental discipline. You are not lying to yourself. You are refusing to let fear become your narrator. The next step is to reconnect with your deeper reason. Why do you want to rebuild? Not just to earn money, not just to impress people, not just to recover your image. Why does it matter? Maybe you want peace. Maybe you want to support your family with less stress. Maybe you want to stop feeling dependent. Maybe you want to use your gifts properly. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that your story is not over. Maybe you want to become an example of quiet strength to someone who is watching. Your reason matters because rebuilding is not always exciting. Some days will be slow. Some days will be frustrating. Some days you will apply and hear nothing back. Some days you will study and feel confused. Some days you will save money and still feel far from stability. Some days you will wonder whether your effort is working. On those days, your reason must carry you. A strong reason gives discipline a place to stand. Write it down, keep it somewhere close, remind yourself often. You are not rebuilding only because you are unhappy with the present. You are rebuilding because your future deserves care. You must also learn to ask for help without feeling weak. Many adults suffer in silence because they think needing help is shameful. They do not want people to know they are struggling. They do not want to appear confused. They do not want to admit that they need advice, a referral, a mentor, a conversation, or emotional support. But isolation makes setbacks heavier. There is strength in seeking wise support. Speak to someone who has walked through a similar season. Ask a trusted person to review your resume. Connect with people in your field. Seek honest feedback. Find communities where learning and opportunity are present. Talk to someone who can help you think clearly. Not everyone deserves access to your struggle. Choose carefully. But do not confuse privacy with isolation. Sometimes one conversation can restore direction. Sometimes one person can remind you of a strength you forgot. Sometimes one piece of feedback can save you months of confusion. A wise person knows when to stand alone and when to reach out. There is another lesson you must carry with you. Do not wait for perfect confidence before you re-enter life. Apply while still nervous. Learn while still unsure. Save while still recovering. Network while still rebuilding. Speak while your voice is still healing. Begin while the past is still tender. You do not need to feel completely ready. You need to become willing. Willingness is enough to start. The people who rebuild are not always the ones who feel strongest. Often, they are the ones who take the next step while still carrying fear, disappointment, and questions. They learn to move with the weight until the weight becomes lighter. That can be you. You can rebuild after rejection. You can rebuild after losing your job. You can rebuild after business failure. You can rebuild after years of underestimating yourself. You can rebuild after being overlooked. You can rebuild after making mistakes, but you must stop treating the setback as a life sentence. It is a chapter. A painful chapter, yes. A serious chapter, yes, but still only a chapter. The next chapter will require a different version of you, not a fake version, not a perfect version, a steadier version, a more honest version, a more disciplined version, a version that does not wait for confidence before taking responsibility. So today, begin simply. Look at what happened. Tell the truth. Take the lesson. Protect your mind. Protect your money. Build one skill. Create one small win. Speak to yourself with respect. Ask for help where needed. Return your focus to the path in front of you. Do not rush your healing, but do not use healing as an excuse to stop moving. Do not deny the pain, but do not worship it. Do not pretend the setback did not matter, but do not allow it to define the rest of your life. You are still here. That matters. You still have the ability to learn. That matters. You still have time to make better decisions. That matters. You still have something to offer. That matters. Your confidence may not return all at once. It may return slowly through quiet mornings, honest planning, repeated effort, and small acts of courage. Let it return that way. Slow confidence is often stronger than loud confidence because it's built on truth. One day, you may look back at this season and realize that the setback did not destroy you. It corrected you. It humbled you. It taught you. It forced you to stop drifting. It made you rebuild on a stronger foundation. But that only happens if you choose to respond with wisdom. So take the next step, not because it is easy, not because you feel fearless, not because everything is clear. Take the next step because your life is still worth rebuilding. Take the next step because your future needs your participation. Take the next step because confidence is waiting on the other side of action. And when the old doubt returns, speak to it calmly. Tell it, I hear you, but I am still moving. Tell it, I have been hurt, but I am not finished. Tell it, I may be rebuilding slowly, but I am rebuilding. Then get up, do the work in front of you, and let each disciplined action remind you of the truth. A setback can shake your confidence, but it does not have the power to take your future unless you hand it over. Do not hand it over. Begin again.